What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 341, and we have one of the biggest weekends of college football to preview. It's like a pseudo rivalry week almost. We got two really big rivalry games this weekend to look at in college football and in the NFL. I hate to say it, but I think I have game of the week, which means it's going to be a stinker, boys. Chargers, Colts.
Well, you do.
There's going to be eyes
Yeah.
on it, which means it's going to be a stinker. Like if that
It's
game can hide, if we were in the 10 a.m. slate, it'd be a really good game. Like that's also just another theory I have. 10 a.m. is peak performance. Like that early slate is peak performance, in my opinion.
well, hey, this will be the Vikings'
Well, yeah, it's
first
been
time
a
playing at noon since week 3. I'm pretty sure,
uh-huh.
or week 2. Like they haven't played a noon game. It's been prime time week 1 and 2. Then they played one noon game at home, and then they went to Europe for 2 weeks, and then they're on a bye. Now we're finally back at noon. But we'll talk about all those games in the NFL segment. But to start, Grant, I think we're going to go through the college football slate.
Yeah, college football. We have a massive week ahead of us, folks. A big week of football. We got USC Notre Dame, and USC is now a football team after what they did last
Yeah.
week. They got at least 8 seconds of praise on the podcast last episode. We'll see if that
Might have been 5.
extends.
Hey, it might have been
Yeah, no,
5.
8
It
is
was
generous.
like
Not
it
that
was
long.
quickly. You're like, hey, I forgot to say this. All right, next
It was
part.
literally
No,
a toss
nothing.
in. We
Yeah, as we were going to
according to the
next segment.
timestamps, we're already in the NFL segment. But it was one of those shoe-ins. But major game there, SC Notre Dame. One of my favorite games since starting this podcast. This rivalry has gotten juice. It didn't have juice my entire life until we started this podcast. But Tennessee, Alabama in Bryant Denny this time around. But Tennessee is no joke, folks. And then another fun little rivalry game, Utah BYU, Battle of Utah in Provo.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
get now late start. I need to check exactly when the sun sets there, but I hope the 6 p.m. local start in Utah.
I think it will still be setting when
Well, I
they
want to
start.
set
I don't think it'll be fully
mid
set.
game. I don't want to. Yeah,
I don't know if it will be mid game. It might be like second quarter.
I just it gets spooky in Utah or BYU when the sun sets mid game. When the sun sets and it's it's now dusk. That's when Utah and BYU wakes up at home.
Oh
So
no, I'm pretty sure that it will be dusk during the game, like 100%.
I just hope that dusk occurs halfway through, and preferably not at halftime. Hopefully during the game itself.
I will say though, like it would be kind of. I never experienced it, but I feel like having a game where it's halftime, you're, you know, coming off the field and it's still there's some light out, and you come back out after
That's
halftime and it's completely
exhilarating.
dark. Like
Oh,
that's a
I've
crazy
never
experience.
experienced that in my life.
But
and my
that's got to be a
goodness,
crazy
would that
experience.
get me hyped? Oh, I'd be juiced for that.
That's quite literally definition of it's a different game. It's a different game at that point.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
100, quite literally.
quite literally
it's a
different game.
whole new game. But a lot of big time matchups. I think technically on paper we should be starting with Ole Miss Georgia, which I didn't even mention in those last little rivalry games. But we're likely going to want to start with Ole Miss Georgia. I've been hearing this a lot past couple of weeks from a lot of different college football personalities, and they are looking at this Georgia team this year, specifically Kirby Smart's body language and reactions. Now, we're not talking fake timeouts on the sideline. We're just talking literal, like in game. How does Kirby Smart react to things?
How is he handling stuff?
And it seems like this year he's not popping blood vessels over missed tackles. He's not lighting up referees.
You think he's reeling it in a little bit?
Well, I think Kirby Smart knows his football team, and he understands this isn't the Georgia I had 2-3 years ago. It's not that team. This is a different Georgia team, and I think Kirby's expectations have dwindled slightly, and he isn't expecting a juggernaut from his team. And so he's not coaching them like he
like a
needs
juggernaut
to become a juggernaut.
yeah
I feel like it's just, yeah, it's a different coaching style that Kirby Smart is displaying this year. And Georgia, right now, they've got some interesting things on offense. I would say the offense is arguably still non-existent. I thought getting Branch and some other weapons out in the portal would help, but it hasn't exactly translated to an explosive offense. So this one's 7.5 point spread, Georgia at home. I guess that sounds fair. I don't think there's an easy lean either way.
I mean, if it's me, I would definitely be taking Ole Miss plus 7.5.
Yeah, I would probably lean towards Ole Miss 7.5. But I just don't exactly know what to expect out of Georgia. They just aren't the killer that they were.
No,
Even
not
last season. I know they didn't win it all last year, but if you remember that first Georgia Texas game, the shit Georgia was doing, oh my God. Like, I mean, actually, you could teach classes about that defensive looks they were getting.
I think that, they have been, when they lost to Alabama, obviously very close game. And Tennessee, they won, but that was still an overtime game. And, or no, am I thinking of, was Georgia, Tennessee? Georgia, Tennessee was overtime. So
yes.
I just don't know, because you go from that and you go to how they looked last week versus Auburn. And last week versus Auburn, like, yeah, they won 20-10 in the score, like, in the score box.
No,
but
no,
I don't
no,
really
yeah,
think
yeah,
they
no, no,
played that way where you're winning
didn't.
by 2 scores. And Ole Miss is probably the best team that they're going to play all year. So
I would say Alabama, but yeah, Ole Miss up there.
For sure. I'm saying for the rest of the year. Yeah. Misspoke, but I just don't know. Like, it is at home, and I mean, Georgia obviously will come and show out, but like you said, it's just not really the same Georgia team that we've seen in the past. And I think Ole Miss is playing not lights out football, but like they're playing
good ball,
good ball, yeah,
good ball. Yeah, this one I don't exactly know what to expect. I think long-term look, we got to see Gunnar Stockton get something going in this past game for Georgia to like really be a threat down the line. Ohio State fan chiming in here. I do not view Georgia as a threat. I also don't view Ole Miss as a threat. I really hope we get Ole Miss in the playoffs, because that's a BTA. Well, that's a BTA.
If Trinidad Chambliss, honestly, either of their quarterbacks, either of them start versus a competent, not competent is the wrong word, but like versus a very elite school this year,
defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah, so, and I think LSU, they're getting propped up a lot really early on for that win start of the year. I mean, if you go back to week 1, I think everybody picked Notre Dame to beat LSU. Literally everyone picked Notre Dame, and then LSU goes on their little run. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I expect Georgia to take it away. This is kind of a good situation, though, because Ole Miss isn't going to drop losing this game. I actually think Ole Miss would drop to 8th. Georgia, of course, would go past Ole Miss, but right now you're seeing the SEC machine, the propaganda machine on full display in the AP rankings right now. The fact Washington isn't ranked right now is literally a disgrace.
Their one loss is to Ohio State.
But
that's it.
But because they look so bad against Ohio State, it's like, oh, Washington's not very good. And that's the logic they use. There was also one AP voter, Everett, that still had Michigan ranked and USC unranked, so they clearly did not watch last week.
I mean, we've clearly seen this year that the AP voters don't watch the games. Like, we've established that.
I might also add it wouldn't shock me if it was the USC beat writer who had Michigan ranked and USC unranked. She didn't even watch the USC game, and she's the USC beat writer.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past her.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't put it past. But yeah, that was first exciting matchup. Second one, Tennessee, Alabama. I am way too excited for. Joe Aguilar, he has just proven himself this year. I think there's a lot of storylines. I was about to say one of the craziest storylines in college football, objectively not true. There are way many larger storylines, but Aguilar essentially getting traded for Nico. Nico also working out now, by the way. Forget that shit, though. All right. 1-for-1 swap. Both teams won. Can we say that? Could we say that now? Both teams won
Both
the trade?
teams won. I mean, the UCLA
is TBD.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I think, though, my goodness.
I think you really need to wait on it a little bit to be like both teams won, because UCLA, yeah, they're winning right now, and Nico looks
really good. He looks really good. Okay.
But I think if you say the whole package, you're talking the whole year, though, I would say he's been decent. It's like it's a complete 180 because he started off not good. Now he looks really good. And I don't think that you can fully say, like, if they end up making a bowl game this year,
it wouldn't. I kind of am rooting for UCLA to score more points against Ohio State when they play them later this year than Tennessee did against Ohio State last year. Just so the Tennessee fans, they actually can't say anything. Like that's like, hey, Ohio State, the defense right now, it's looking pretty damn good. Every single week,
Jerry's gonna lock in for that game now.
Every single week, though, my brother and dad are just like, give me your score predictions. I have yet to give another team over 6 points this year. Last week,
and what's the success percentage on that bet, Grant, or on that pick?
4-2.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
No. Like at this point, it's like teams I just don't trust them to score a touchdown against us. Like it's really difficult to score against Ohio State. So that's my point there. But okay, back to Tennessee, Alabama. What a tangent. Alabama's pass game has been The ironic thing is Ryan Williams has not been playing great. Last week, Ryan Williams had, I think, 1 catch for like 8 yards. If Jeremiah Smith ever put up a game with 1 catch, 8 yards, Ohio State fans would like literally be throwing bricks through Brian Hartline's windows.
Right. But he's not even their highest receiver right now.
It should be Bernard, correct? Jeremy Bernard?
It is Jeremy Bernard, yeah.
Now, Bernard has been unbelievable this year. I would say that supporting cast in that Alabama wide receiver room has made significant leaps this year. And Ty Simpson is not a Burrow win you the game by himself type of guy. But I think he is maybe just a better version of Mac Jones. Like not as cocky, game manager, system quarterback. And I don't mean that as a slight. It can be a good thing. Like last year, Will Howard was the perfect game manager. So I don't mean that as a slight.
I get what you're saying.
Ty Simpson is getting the ball out, throwing it to whoever's open. He's not force feeding anybody. And so, Alabama, that offense with Ty Simpson, I'm really impressed. He
16 touchdowns, 1 interception, 71% completion percentage.
I'll be honest, that sounds like AJ McCarron to me. AJ McCarron, low interceptions. He's not putting up 400 yards a game, 5 tubbies, but he'll put up 250 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns, no picks.
And how do you win football games? Really, end of the day,
for these top teams like a Bama, like a Georgia, like Indiana now, Ohio State, for those teams to get upset, they got to have turnovers and not convert in the red zone and not convert on third downs on defense.
And turnovers in general isn't just like interception fumbles. It's not converting 4th downs. It's missing field goals.
Dropping third downs and punting. It's the same thing. I really trust Alabama's offense more this year in terms of consistent floor, just series to series. We're not getting Milroe 3 and outs where he overthrows Ryan Williams by 15 yards for a touchdown. And then the next play, it's a 1 yard run and then incomplete pass punt. Like that was a lot of mill
I
road
mean,
drives.
also really like looking at Alabama and their just performance this season. Obviously, week one, Florida State, goldfish, flush it, keep going. They beat UL Monroe 73-0. They beat Wisconsin 38-14. They beat Georgia by 3. They beat Vanderbilt by 16.
16. Good win.
Beat Missouri last week. Could have lost the game. Still won
one.
it. Close game. Like they have been putting in the work this year, and they look much better compared to how we saw them in week one, and much better than how we saw them honestly last year.
Yeah, the weird thing is usually when Tennessee is playing, I always like to bring up how important it is for Tennessee to run the ball on early downs. With that veer and shoot offense, those receivers are literally outside the numbers. Okay, they're literally across the entire field horizontally, and by doing that, you get light boxes with DBs so out of the picture. And that's just was such a key in the past. Dylan Sampson last year was excellent for Tennessee. This year, because of Aguilar and Brazel, how great they are, Alabama could shut down the run game and still lose.
It doesn't matter.
So, like, and also on the other side, Alabama's run game, it has improved as Jam Miller has came back and it has looked better, but I don't necessarily think either team needs to run to win. I think this could be a QB duel. QB duel. We're going to see.
It will come down to turnovers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it will, because like there's a big difference between Ty Simpson's 1 interception and Aguilar's 5. Or I'm pretty sure he has 5 right now.
He has a bit, and like, I kind of assume
the big margin.
Aguilar is going to throw a pick in this game, but I don't necessarily think that loses them the game either. Like I feel really safe. Aguilar is putting up 350, 3 to 4 touchdowns and a pick. I feel pretty safe in that, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, I mean, Aguilar's interception touchdown ratio is almost at 2 to 1. And then Ty Simpson's is 16-1 right now. So
yeah, and also completely different styles of offenses. Tennessee, that offense is predicated on that downfield attacking offense. Brazel is so key to that whole system. And
Tulane alumni right there, my boy.
Mm-hmm. And I do think though we got a nice QB duel. I know it's a high line, but give me the over. Points fiesta ever.
59.5. Like neither of the defenses have been stifling either when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I just think both offenses they're putting up.
I'm saying
the
combination of that plus just the deep. I'm just saying, but with the defense on top of it, like that's a very good pick.
Yeah, I'm really I think this is one where us college football fans, if you're not a Tennessee or Bama fan, watch this. You're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be great.
Oh, right on from 6:30 p.m. Yeah, roll right into that.
Oh yeah. Oh, Everett, they're not messing around.
Into that.
They're not messing around this one.
Absolutely not.
And then our last USC Notre Dame. Well, this one won't spend too long. A 9.5 point spread for Notre Dame, which I feel like that just sounds like a lot. Not 9.5. Hey, it's a lot of points. I do think though that spread's fair. Notre Dame is really good. I know they started out 0-2. I know they're really good still. And also, we brought this up weeks ago. This is Notre Dame's season, Everett. If they lose this, they're out. So the rest of Notre Dame's schedule, Everett, they could sleepwalk through it. So,
I mean,
the whole season's coming up to this for Notre Dame.
It comes down, look, like CJ Carr has looked a lot better since those first 2 games.
Jeremiah
really Love as well. Jeremiah Love has, I don't know if I would say necessarily improves the wrong word because he just wasn't being used the right way.
Yeah, they just
starting to actually
giving him
use
the ball
the proper way
here.
And I mean, the other side of it too, like USC, obviously they got upset the other week. I don't know if it was technically an upset. I think it was with Illinois.
I guess,
they lost by 2 points. But I mean, they've still put in the work, and like this is really a true test. Like Michigan last week, I wouldn't really say is a true test, but like
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say the Michigan game was like a
Notre
test.
Dame, like this is going to be your marker.
This is the USC statement game. Like if Lincoln Riley officially
Yeah,
wants to plant his
yeah.
flag, USC is here. You need to watch out for us. You got to win this one. And hey, you ask USC fans, what's the most important game on the schedule? It's Notre Dame. So both teams have a lot of
No, I think this
motivation.
is
This is going to be big time. I think USC
look
plus 9.5 just
this.
is the play. I think it's
I
just
would
gonna be
agree with that.
close. I'm
I
feeling it.
I will just say like there's way more on the line for Notre Dame than there is for
Yes.
USC.
Yes.
And USC, to be fair, they are 3-1 in conference play, Grant. Like they are in the running right now to not
We
just
went over this
make the
last week.
championship game, but also make the playoffs. And a win versus Notre Dame will look really good on that resume.
And also how Oregon looked against Indiana last week. Now that game looks a little more gettable for
Yep.
USC.
Yep. And then it's the opposite side of it for Notre Dame. You don't have a championship game. Like there is no
Exactly.
conference championship,
You
so you need this win
and a
to
9 and
really.
3 Notre Dame, they would have no ranked wins. They'd have no marquee wins. I it's like for
Look,
Notre
like,
Dame to get in at 9 and 3, it's nothing they did. It's if everyone else gave it to them.
yeah,
You know
and
what I
it's
mean?
not like I mean their losses. They lost to Texas A&M by 1.
They're
They
all really
lost to
good
Miami
teams.
by
Yes,
3,
they're all
and
really
the
good
rest
teams.
of this, I mean, they've essentially eviscerated every other team that they've played. So completely wiped them off the map.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can play that way versus Miami in really crappy weather, you can play that way versus Texas A&M at
Yeah.
home. By the way, like USC walking up into your house, it's a very obtainable game.
Notre Dame is a very tough environment to go into and play.
Yeah.
And this is going to be their game of the year. Also, Indiana, they're Central, correct? Notre Dame
Indiana,
or the Eastern.
yes. No, I
It's
think
either a
there's
6:30 or 7:30. It's a night game
I mean,
start.
it's a night game either way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a night game. This is Notre Dame people are up for this. My matchup to watch. I've been hearing this a lot this week too. Makai Lemon versus Notre Dame's starting corner. I'm blanking on the Notre Dame corner right now.
The corner,
if you know is
the starting corner.
it's not Ben Morrison.
I'm getting it right now. Um, is it Golden? Christian Gray.
Gray. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be the matchup to watch. I expect him to be shadowing Makai Lemon the entire game. Makai Lemon, that's a guy I've been very high on since he committed with Malachi Nelson to USC out of Los Alamitos. He's a guy I've been tracking since that commitment day, and he has lived up to the hype of a 5-star USC wide receiver. Makai Lemon, I would say right now, because of opportunity, he is playing and looks like the best receiver in college football right now. This dude is the USC passing offense. And I do not think there's a corner in college football that can just eliminate him from the game. I think no matter what, Makai Lemon's going to get his. He's getting at least 7 catches, 75 yards. Okay, that happens. There's nothing you can do about that. That's my matchup to watch in this game. I'm very interested, as always, to see how both front sevens defend the run. I do think, though, Notre Dame getting that run established is a key for them to win this game.
Yeah.
I think, though, USC's side, they could still win the game if the run game isn't exactly dynamic.
I mean, I was going to say that it
needs to be excellent for them to win this game.
I was going to say, I think the offenses are very swapped, where Notre Dame is predicated. Jeremiah Love needs to be your offense. USC
inverse offense.
You need to throw that thing. You need to feed
opposites.
Makai Lemon. So just very different game plans, across the board. So, and the defensive too is It's just interesting, like the way their defenses are set up for those, that kind of matchup.
I would say Notre Dame's defense is a little bit more prepared matchup, not prepared,
Yes,
better
but
equipped
like
matchup
equip. That's what I'm
wise
saying. Yeah,
than USC because Notre
it is
Dame,
for
their
Notre Dame.
strength is
Yeah,
that secondary. Now they're still
yeah.
stout up front, but they got NFL guys littered that secondary all over. USC, on the other hand, I would say their strength is also the secondary, but Notre Dame's strength isn't the pass offense. And so that's going to be a very interesting matchup, how USC defends Notre Dame. I think CJ Carr like could throw and win Notre Dame the game through the air, but I'd be he doesn't need to for Notre Dame. Jane Maeva must for USC to win. So that is what I would say is the difference there. But I think that's going to do our pre-show. I got one last little thing, college football, before we dive into NFL.
Yep.
Penn State head coach rumors have been floating around swirling. And after a lot of thinking, I think ultimately Penn State, to make that firing on Monday, I think they have a pretty good idea in their mind of who they want to go get. And what I'm hearing right now, Everett, is option number one is Matt Rule.
Option number one, not Kirk Cignetti.
The first person Penn State is calling allegedly capital J journalism is Matt Rule.
Okay.
Now that doesn't sound like the home run hire in my mind.
No, there are other names you talked about in the last
once
episode.
Again,
I would like more.
First ask. Like that.
But if it's your first ask, that's who you're like, hey,
no,
exactly. You're going to say yes, we're taking.
No, exactly. If he says yes, we're not advancing the search. But I don't necessarily think that's the greatest play. I think
no, I don't know why that would be your first call. But
now another name I've been hearing a lot, which there's 0% chance he takes it, is Marcus Freeman to Penn State. Now there's 0% chance Marcus Freeman leaves Notre Dame for Penn State, but I also agree that if you're a top program, you'd be dumb not to ask.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're pitching to Marcus Freeman, one, I mean, he did play for Notre Dame, didn't he? Like
he was a linebacker for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, he was in Ohio State. I thought he had some connection to
he was Notre just Dame the DC beforehand. There under Brian Kelly, last one there.
You're right. I don't know why I thought he had some like actual physical connection like that. Well, it doesn't matter. Regardless,
kind of your point though, he embodies Notre Dame.
Yeah,
you see Marcus Freeman and you think Notre Dame. He is the perfect culture fit there.
My biggest like point with him is like if you're Penn State and you're making the pitch to Marcus Freeman, how are you going to outsell Notre Dame? And it's really you're
not.
You're going to pay the same amount. They're going to pay the same amount. Yeah. Really, your point is going to be okay. You might have an easier time recruiting in these.
Well, you're going to have to prove to him.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you'll be like, well, hey, you get to play a conference championship if that entices you.
Well, maybe the biggest draw would be we have 0 academic minimums for recruits. that might be the biggest thing.
It's like, hey, I mean, South Bend is a hike to get over to, and it's a small town. You might have a little bit more time, to go out and do whatever you want.
Whatever. How are they going to convince Marcus Freeman to be okay with their small tarmac and that they can't just fly directly in and out of?
Hey, I don't know how it works in South Bend, but I feel like they.
I assume they have their own hangar.
I'm guessing, but it is small. Like you haven't been to South, right? And when I haven't been to any games, but I toured Notre Dame. Like I went to the school when I was in high school to tour it.
I was about to say, when did Tulane play Notre Dame? I don't
remember that. No, we have not.
I don't remember that.
But when I was in, like, I flew into Chicago and I drove from Chicago to there, and that was a hike. I don't know what the layout fully is of South Bend, but
anyway, the reason I brought up Marcus Freeman was that Notre Dame, you could say, made a risky hire. And the first couple of years under Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame wasn't winning the big one. People were like, dude, Freeman can't win the big game. And he had a lot of coaching blunders. You remember Ohio State and Notre Dame a few years back, they only had 10 guys on the field for the last play.
Yeah.
And the run was right where there was nobody. And Ohio State's linemen were so dumb. There was no one in front of them to block. So they just did nothing and let the linebacker they just didn't know what to do. They're like, wait, shouldn't there be a guy there? So in their mind, they're like, let me just stand up and do nothing. But Marcus Freeman had some blunders. He got a lot of flack. If Penn State wants to do what Notre Dame did and go get a young-minded first-time head coach who's a proven excellent recruiter, and the potential long-term payoff could be tenfold, the Penn State Nittany Lions should hire DeAnton Lynn, defensive coordinator from USC. DeAnton Lynn, though, is a former Penn State Nittany Lion linebacker. Now, Matt Rule, also former Penn State linebacker, too. But DeAnton Lynn is...
Do you have a...
you know how old he is?
33.
Oh, that'd be really young. He's 35, though, which I think would make him one of the youngest head coaches ever in college football. I don't know off the top of my head who the youngest ever is, but 35 is pretty damn young.
Youngest college football coach.
It might be Lane Kiffin the first time he got it.
Rich Rodriguez became head coach at Salem University at 25.
25.
But I'm
aware, but
I'm gonna
25-year-old head coach at any level. That's past elite.
Kenny
really impressive.
Dillingham is currently the youngest coach, and he is 34.
Okay, still 35. It's a young guy. I think DeAnton. Now, hey, remember Marcus Freeman's first couple of years? This isn't a year one. You're going to the playoff type situation. This is 5 years from now. Penn State is what Notre Dame is now, and they are.
We have actually update to
national
that.
Champion.
FAU hired Texas Tech offensive coordinator Zach Kitley last year. He was 33 years old when he was hired. So,
well, anyway, I think that maybe helps point that ADs are now kind of okay with going young. Giving guys their first time opportunities as head coach at these schools. Now, I wouldn't call him up first. You better call up Curt Cignetti first, okay? But I think DeAnton Lynn, him versus Rule, you could sell me on DeAnton Lynn.
Do we have Matt Rule and Lynn do an Oklahoma drill to whoever wins gets the job?
Oh, now that'd be just unfair to Matt Rule. Because
both former linebackers.
Yes, but like DeAnton Lynn is in shape. You look at him, you're like, oh,
that guy.
Yeah. Matt. Now, no disrespect.
I mean, we've all seen the video of
sign of a great head coach is their fatness increasing because they're only thinking about ball. So that's a sign of growth when your head coach gets heavier. It's not a bad thing. But I definitely think DeAnton Lynn would take that right now. He's 35. Matt Rule's like 38.
Yeah. I also
and dude, big height and weight advance. Well, maybe not weight advance. Sorry, that wasn't meant to be a fat joke. But
I was gonna say we've all seen Matt Rule's video when he was at Baylor getting chased down by the tackle dummy.
No, and I'll be honest, I had to look up some Matt Rule stuff when he played at Penn State because I wasn't aware. It's accepted among college football media people that Matt Rule is Penn State.
I was unaware until
I was just unaware that he was Mr. Penn State. I didn't know that. I feel like that would have crossed my mind at some point if I do that, but apparently Matt Rule is Mr. Penn State.
Yeah. Just interesting things. And also Penn State's got to come and they're probably going to try and get this hire out soon because Florida is likely firing Billy Napier really soon. And if you're Penn State, you are not going to want to have to compete with Florida to get a head coach.
I think Auburn's going to come open too.
I'm not saying that
and there's also another big time program that hasn't come open yet. It probably is looking sky is blue and dandy right now. It might be a team who's undefeated and their head coach might be under the table signing the deal to Penn State now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm you're going to want to have this deal pen in hand signed. No news will come out until, a month or two from now. But you have to have something done before Florida specifically opens up, because if you're
And
Penn
just
State,
for
the
your
biggest thing is
recruiting
Florida.
classes, like firing them right now, like the 30-day transfer portal window just opened for Penn State.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
mean, I know for the most part, like college, especially in college, like no coach, especially at a successful program right now, because you're gonna probably, unless it's a defensive coordinator or something, you're going to likely be getting a coach from a team that's doing really well right now. So most of those coaches or their agents will be like, "Hey, we're not going to talk about this until the end of the season."
oh yeah, and also if you are one of those top coaches getting interviewed for Penn State,
there you go.
I know their agents of the coaches are telling them, "You're not signing that shit yet. Just wait. Florida's about to wait. We're we're gonna get you an extra couple mils when we tell them Florida's contract for us, and they have to know." So,
Yep.
yeah, like I think it's just interesting. Like decision to fire him now. Clearly, Penn State's board of directors,
They have a plan.
boosters, AD, they're on to the next era of Penn State football. Clearly, duh. I just think though it's a little risky right now. I think in this era it's extremely risky to make that change mid-season. But maybe it's sending a message to future recruits. Hey,
I mean, like, look, also though, like
Penn State support staff, we are focused about winning. Like
it's also sometimes really to keep players like at your school, because if the locker room and just the general, like we're seeing with the Dolphins right now, like the Dolphins players don't respect Tua or Mike McDaniel right now at all. So if you kind of have
how could you respect Tua? He like talks shit every week and then just sucks.
But if you have a coach that's kind of bringing the morale down, it's kind of more like a locker room cancer, right? Eli Apple.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to keep them there, and you're seeing how
it's like
can
the
pan
Padres.
out well. You can see how it pans out well. Well, that's the opposite. Well, the Padres were taking down Mike Shit's lifespan. But
quote from him, "I just want to go home. I'm tired and I just want to go home."
But you can see how it does successfully work with situations like UCLA now, where Jerry might have never been found. Neuheisel might have never been found if it wasn't for them firing that. And
they would have had no idea that he's ready to call an offense if that doesn't happen.
No clue.
They just have no idea that he was ready. Hey, even going back a couple years, USC, they fire Helton mid-season, and they give Dante the job. Now, Dante, I believe, is now at Georgia. But
yeah, hey, Grant, all I'm saying is
growth in those changes. You're right.
If Brian Hartline moves on to bigger and greater things, Ohio State might want to give Jerry a little call and see if he's ready for the big leagues.
Maybe. Yeah, I would say right now, this might not be popular in Ohio State land, but I'm kind of fine if Brian Hartline gets poached. He's not very good at being an offensive coordinator. So,
no, well, we knew it was going to be an experiment this year, regardless. So,
yeah.
Okay, all right, Grant.
Once again, as I said with Marcus Freeman, growth. Probably in 2 years, he'll be a lot better than he is now.
People need to learn some patience. I mean, you're seeing it with rookie court. We talk about rookie quarterbacks all the time. Like it's the same thing with coordinators. The only time you're okay not being patient if it's Ed Donatel. That's fair game.
Or
there's a lot of ways you can go with this. There you
Alex Grinch. No, like
Just if they're a award-winning Guantanamo Bay award-winning coach, yeah, they can hit the window.
Hit the hay.
Get out of there. But okay, great. All right.
Yeah.
On to the NFL. Week 6, I ended up going 9-6. I don't know what you went, how you did.
10-5.
Okay. Picking it back up a little bit. We're going back towards that direction.
I did realize, though, a 10-5 week does not get us closer to our goal of 70%. We need to be better. 10-5.
No, I stayed stagnant at my 60% handle here.
Yeah,
you have a 4-game lead on me now, I believe.
I'm at 65%. My win rate, I think, moved up by like 0.12%. After the 10-5 week. I
think you were at like 63, but you have 4 wins on me overall. So
Here, I got it actually, but okay. I was 65.38% last week. After this week, I'm 65.59%. So that's a 0.21% bump out of me.
Yeah. I just gotta fact check some injuries here right before I give my game picks. Because I literally there's one specific game here that we'll get to.
I've got no asterisks this week. I couldn't care less about any injuries.
There's just one. There's one.
To me this
week.
I
mean, the bigger thing is I'm looking at is the 49ers game and the Bucks game is whether or not Mike Evans is back for the Bucks, and then also for the 49ers if George Kittle's playing, because Pearsall is probably out, and so is Ayuk. And
I feel I've got
Kittle.
a strong opinion on both.
Yeah. Okay. Grant, here are our games for the week. Week was it 7 in the NFL. Week 7 in the NFL. All right. Thursday night we have Steelers at Cincinnati. Right on a Sunday. 8:30 in the morning. Back in London once again in Wembley. We got Rams at Jaguars, noon slate. We have Eagles at Vikings, Saints at Bears, Dolphins at Browns, Patriots at Titans, Raiders at Chiefs, Panthers at Jets. What a fucking barn burner that one's going to be. 3:00 games, Giants at Broncos, Colts at Chargers, Commanders at Cowboys, Packers at Cardinals. Night game, Sunday night, Falcons at 49ers. Monday, doubleheader once again, 6 p.m., Bucks at Lions, and oh boy, 9:00 Central Time. Get your popcorn buckets out, everybody on the East Coast. It's 10:00.
If you're a Texans fan, your game starts at 9 p.m. on Monday.
Like, I don't understand.
Now, I was going to say, as we just went over the slates, the 6 first
Texans
window.
Texans at Seahawks, though, last game.
The 6 first window, 4 middle window. Now, I kind of like that spread, Everett. I'm not going to lie. With this spread, you can sell me on the double Monday nights, because the 6 and 4, we are prioritizing the middle slate here, folks. Remember that. We need at least 4 in that middle slate. If it's 3, there's a really good chance 2 of those games are stinkers and it's just 1 game on. So we need at least 4 in that middle. I think the guidelines for the early slate, it's 6 to 8.
Yeah, I just
prefer an even number.
Look, I personally like having games that start late, just because it gives me something to watch when it's later in the night or later in the day, right? But if you're an East Coast resident and you're a fan of either of these two teams, having your game kick off at 10 p.m.
Yeah, the game's ending. Seahawk.
The game is ending probably 12:30, 1 o'clock, like on a work night. And if you're just also I guess it's on West Coast time, so it's not like the end of the world is starting at 7 p.m.
Yeah, that's okay.
But just the broadcast itself, like, that sucks.
Well, it's that, and then it's just you create 2 additional short weeks next week.
Yeah, exactly.
You just create advantages.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. But it's
been like 4 weeks in a row that we've got doubleheader Monday night. I'm done with this shit. I'm done.
Does Roger just hate the middle day Sundays? Like, I don't
really know. My only explanation would be that ratings, if you were to take each game individually, by having 2 Monday, like, the game will do better in a quote standalone Monday night slot than if it's.
I'm just confused because they're both on ESPN. Technically, the Bucks Lions is ABC and ESPN, both affiliates, but
yeah.
I don't know if there's just an open slot that ESPN contractually made the NFL fill. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just really weird.
I know why, dude. NFL or ESPN just bought NFL Network or whatever the hell. That just happened. That's why.
That's definitely it. Yep.
Waterboy analytics, folks. That was actually a good takeaway, because that's just true. Yeah, that's
no, that is.
All right,
Okay.
we answered it. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here's my picks for the games, Grant. Steelers, Vikings, Rams, Bears. What a stinker this one is. I am going to take the Dolphins.
The toilet bowl.
I am going to take the Dolphins. I wanted to take the Browns. You know what? Grant? Actually, no, I can't do that. I'm taking the Dolphins. Patriots, Chiefs.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you double taked back to the Browns, that would have been a disaster.
Patriots, Chiefs, Panthers, Broncos, Colts, Cowboys, Packers, Falcons, Bucks, and Seahawks. Even though the Bucks are really depleted.
Okay. I love this. We got a lot of differences this week.
Even though the Bucks are very depleted.
We got a lot of differences, and I could not care less about any of these injuries. Steelers, Rams, Bears, Browns, Patriots, Chiefs, Eagles, Panthers. That one's another WTF for me. The Panthers on the road is not the same Panthers.
I don't know, but the Jets have looked so bad.
I know. So
really bad.
This is a game where neither team has any vibes. You can't have vibes guide it. I'm picking Panthers. This is the game the Jets win, though. The Jets aren't going 0-17. They're probably going to win 3 games. Just the worst teams usually just win 3 games. No, I know. I know. They're not going to be favored in any of these. No, I know. They're going to win 3 games.
All right, I'll tell you this right now. They're going to beat.
This is one of them to take, though. They're
going to beat the Browns.
When is that game?
2 weeks from now. It's November 9th. So in week.
Oh, wait, but they get a bye in between because, right?
I mean, it might
November
be week 10
9th
then.
is a while ago. Yeah, or a while from now.
Well, it's Panthers, Bengals, and Browns. So 2 weeks from now. And then I think
Bengals they might just is gettable next week, too, for the Jets.
It is. But I also think they might just pull. Actually, if Lamar's not back, they'll beat the Ravens.
If Lamar's not back, they'll beat the Ravens. Wins right there. We just found 3.
Possible.
They're going to win 3 games. I'm not saying
if they trade Breece Hall, though. If they trade Breece Hall, though,
I never said they're good.
They might not win anything.
I never said they were good, and I never even said I would pick the Jets 3 times this year. I just expect them to win 3 games. Let's make that clear. I did not say I'm going to pick the Jets this year. They're going to win 3 games though. But yeah, went Panthers there. Broncos, Chargers, Commanders, Packers, Niners, Lions, Texans, all different Sunday, Monday. I love it.
So originally I had the Lions, and it's replayed in my head this past week. I don't remember which game it was, but there was one game I faded, and it might have been the 49ers Rams a bit ago. I'm just like, every time the 49ers play the Rams in LA, the 49ers win. Dude, every time the 49ers win.
That's just every single time. Shanahan owns McVay, right?
No, but I was like, but it's the same thing. Like every time since the Lions have actually been good, every time that the Bucks have played the Lions, I swear to God, the Bucks have won. And I was just like, okay, I have to take Tampa.
Oh, I thought you were gonna relate that into a Commanders Cowboys stat. I thought that's where you were going.
I mean, originally with the Commanders and Cowboys, like I like the Commanders. I had the Commanders, but like the Cowboys are playing pretty, like they're gonna get a break at some point. They're going to get a break.
Comparison.
And the Commanders just lost to the Bears.
These Dallas Cowboys are last year's Cincinnati Bengals. They're a Big 12 football team. They put up 49, probably giving up 50 every week.
Yep, and their defense is
exciting.
Horrendous.
Well, exactly. It's exciting over football. Their offense is
also
borderline
the other
thing,
thing,
and their defense also cannot stop a Pee-wee Mighty team.
Yeah, the other thing, while watching the Commanders-Bears game this past week, I was sitting there and I remembered last year, I think I said it on this podcast, that the Bears could and should have beaten the Commanders last year. They just didn't have a competent coach in place. Yeah. And
they
was sitting there,
should have won that game.
I took the Commanders this past week when we were doing our games, and I was sitting there kind of kicking myself. I'm like, I literally told myself last year that the Bears could and they should have won that game. And it's the same team this year, but with the one change being the coach, which is why I said the Bears lost the game in the first place last year. So I don't
And
know
I
why he
believe
didn't take
Tyreek
them.
Stevenson is not on the Chicago Bears anymore.
I believe he is. I believe he's
Okay,
still there.
never. Well, actually, that's a good thing. He has motivation. If anything, that's even more so motive. Like that dude, if he's not practicing his ass off this week, Everett, his teammates are giving up on him. Like he needs to
Yeah.
quite literally be. This is his Super Bowl. Tyreek Stevenson. This is or last week that was your Super.
But okay, Grant. So just let's talk about a couple games here. I'm gonna quickly run through this Vikings Eagles stuff because I feel like there's not a whole lot to address with it.
I think we arguably have games of the week. I think Commanders Boys is
Bucks
also.
Lines.
I'm just
That's
talking close. Oh shit. Let's see.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, the Eagles coming off of a loss to the Giants last week, right? Like
Are they
if you're the
coming off
Vikings,
back to back L's?
I think that they're coming off back-to-back L's. Like if you're the Vikings, you're catching the Eagles in a very good spot. Yeah, they lost to the Broncos, lost to the Giants. Like they're on a slide right now. And it's a situation where you're
And also,
now
this is quite literally the worst 3 weeks in the history of Pennsylvania. So,
but like, you're in a situation right now where their offense hasn't figured it out. And it would be the very
hell
much a
no.
Vikings way that the Vikings are the game that the Eagles figure it out on offense. It would be a very Vikings thing to do. But like also, if you're the Vikings, you're coming off this bye. You do have a question mark at quarterback to figure out, but they're using that to their advantage right now because the Eagles don't really know what quarterback to prepare for.
If
By the way,
KOC was playing chess, he would announce one person as the starter, and they're not the starter.
But there's also a non-zero chance that Max Brosmer ends up starting this game.
Starting, not like
Starting.
enters in.
No, like starting. Like there's a non-zero. Non-zero. I'm not saying it's like 15%, but it's a non-zero chance that happens.
I wasn't saying you were saying it was.
20%. But the biggest thing is Carson Wentz's shoulder injury. It's a non-throwing arm shoulder injury, but it's apparently very bad. Like he could play through it, but it's apparently
if he gets sacked,
really not good. Yeah, it might fall off. And JJ McCarthy, KOC is not happy with his footwork right now.
I'm sorry, but the image of Carson Wentz like shoulder just like disintegrating in the game is just funny in my mind. But okay,
but there's that, and then JJ McCarthy, KOC still has problems with his footwork and his ankle is not 100%. He keeps saying, "Hey, the diagnosis was 2-ish to 6 weeks or 4-ish to 6 weeks, and we're still within the range of." Like not fully up to 6 weeks anyways. So like the only healthy quarterback on the team right now who actually, did look good when he came in serviceably in the preseason was Max Brosmer and is Max Brosmer. So that's possible. But the Vikings also get Blake Cashman back on defense and you're getting a lot of like alleviation with that coming out of the bye.
Any returning
Donovan
names?
Jackson's Donovan Jackson's supposed to be back, but I have not heard specifically yet from Vikings spheres that he is back. I've heard nothing about him. I guess I could look at his the practice sheet from today.
Apparently, I just Googled his name. The first article from Purple PTSD, excellent website name, by the way.
He was limited in practice today.
Oh, so he.
Brian O'Neill. Him and Brian O'Neill both limited in practice. Andrew Van Ginkel,
they're both
haven't had him for 2 weeks. He's limited in practice.
Great, they're all playing.
Carson Wentz was full in practice today, but I'm not entirely sure if that really is like a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just interesting to see. I think this will be good, either great for the Vikings or it's a tide turner for the Eagles, and there's not really an in between. For those. But Grant, let's talk about your game a little bit here.
I think we both have just games this week.
Yeah. It is interesting. Like Josh Downs
look really good at football.
Josh Downs popped up today on the injury list with a concussion. So he might be out this week. And it's
a notable thing.
I still think that it's a certable loss though, because
certainly of note.
He's taking, like, Michael Pittman's doing really well this year, but also Josh Downs is taking coverage and attention away from Michael Pittman, which is
that also Tyler Warren this year, Everett.
this year. It's his rookie year.
I'm
It's his
horrified
rookie year.
of what he's about to do to Diane Henley. Okay. I mean, I Diane's been really bad in pass coverage ever since he
Yeah.
had his flu game a couple weeks ago. I don't, maybe like the opposite of QJ, Diane forgot how to be good at linebacker.
You know
Uh,
what? If it's like a Freaky Friday situation and they like swapped, I would take that
it
every
might
day of the week.
something might be checking out because like right when QJ was like established, he's an NFL wide receiver. That's when Diane just started being like,
It's like, hold
why
on,
am I
wait a minute.
watching Tough Borland right now? Like, what the hell? What happened? I'm just
Yeah.
I think Colts could be a nightmare to defend. The strengths in the Chargers defense is that secondary. Now, Khalil Mack just had his 21-day window opened. I think he
Yeah.
was limited, or so. I don't think he'll play this week. Um,
Probably give it one more week. I don't know. Like
yeah,
he might debut Grant when we have a little bit of
that's what I'm
a
saying.
water boy civil war next
We have a
week.
short week Thursday next week in 8 days. I think that would just make a little bit more sense for him to be his comeback. Like you just
Yeah,
pretend
just let him kind of
tomorrow is like a
ramp
full
it
week,
up.
like tomorrow's
Yeah.
like Monday. You're preparing for that
Yeah.
next Thursday.
And I think
Uh,
that's similar probably to what's going to end up happening with the Vikings and JJ
yeah.
McCarthy. It's likely that Carson Wentz and Max Brosmer play this week and JJ
And I
ramps
think
up and
it
next week is
helps
when he plays.
those two guys coming back from injuries, Mac and JJ. I think it being a short week, like they're in the building Sunday night, like it wasn't game day for like
I
they're
mean,
already on to next week. And I
yeah.
think that'll
Also, I mean,
give us a better
I
product.
will just say if
Selfishly,
I'm the Eagles, if I'm the Eagles, I'd probably be planning all week like Carson Wentz is the starter. If you
100%.
don't, you probably could watch no JJ McCarthy film and still be fine coming into that game. So,
Oh yeah,
but like the thing with the Colts though, your defensive line needs to really lock it down because if Jonathan Taylor comes out here and it explodes in this game, it's going to get out of hand quick.
very fast. Like the
Yeah.
Colts, I don't have this number on the top of my head, but I swear they have 21 points every single week at halftime. Every single week, they already have 20 points at halftime. I swear. They get out and they go. All right. Shane Steichen, coach of the year, easy. This Colts team is absolutely no joke. Like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was
Grant, the only time the Colts have not scored more than 20 points was when they played the Rams and they lost by one touchdown. Every other week, they've put up at least 29 points. Week one was 33, Broncos was 29,
but
Titans was
still putting
41.
up 20 on that Rams
Like,
like they have put up, other than that
like
Rams game, they've put up 30 plus every week. Like, what the hell am
no,
I
literally,
looking
like, the
at?
lowest.
What am I looking at?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Where do
and
we
like
even
versus the
start how to
Broncos
defend
too.
them?
Like,
Shit. Like, no, yeah, against
no,
the
seriously,
Broncos, dude. The
they put up
Broncos are
20. They put up
real.
29. They put up
Broncos
29.
defense is real. Okay. That defense is real as shit. Uh, yeah, no, I don't feel great about this one. Not at all. And I also do
Now, what
not
I
like
will say,
the Colts
what
have
I
the Titans next week. And so this game is like a no bullshit. We're
yeah,
taking care of business because we get Cam Ward next week. So like that makes me even more pissed because the
I
Colts
mean,
are like,
also
we're winning this
the
game.
one thing I will say is this season, the Colts defensive line hasn't been like they've been decent. They haven't been otherworldly. They haven't been making a huge difference in a lot of these games. But also like
I'll take
the
that.
the,
I'll take that over
the
it.
teams that they've played, Grant, in the Dolphins, in the Broncos, in the Titans, in the Raiders, in the Cardinals, like
Oh,
none of those
Everett,
teams are.
you just point out a flaw in the system of strength of schedule?
I mean, maybe not necessarily. That's not the route that I'm trying to go with it, but I think that is still a point.
Well,
I will
hey,
I
like
will just say, I will just say, the bigger point is none of those teams are offensively similar to the way that the Chargers like to play the game, where it is they're going to pass a lot more this year. They are, but they're still running the ball. They're still that is still a very large part of the game plan.
Last week was like the biggest commitment to the run game of the season.
Yeah. And I mean, Kimani Vidal is like he showed he can run. Like he's good. He's decent. But like none of these other teams are really the I'm going to shove the football up your throat for 4 quarters and the way that the Chargers kind of are. And I think that that's kind of an exposure that they could use for like when they play the Colts this week.
Okay. You know what? I like that. I like that.
You are right, though. Like, objectively speaking, honestly, though, like across the board, the schedule doesn't necessarily get like much harder. Like, they play you guys this week.
Yeah, I mean, starting that Steelers
it is certainly harder. Don't get me wrong. The second half of the schedule,
so many divisional games just stacked on top of each other at the end, too.
Yeah. But I mean, they can win all of these games.
I think Houston's really lucky they get Indiana so late in the year. They could get some injuries and,
and so did the Jags. The Jags get them both. Like all of their divisional games are really late. Like that
makes this division fun. That makes, and if you're a betting man and you want to go against the Colts right now, and you see this outcome at the end, hey, you might be if you don't think the Colts are going to win. Hey.
And if I'm the Chiefs, like the Chiefs are in that backhand schedule. I'm very happy because
and that week
Rashee Rice will be back too.
Well, I mean, this week is the reckoning week.
I know, but
I hate the Chiefs.
They might have Brees Hall.
But I'll be honest, I love to see Rashee Rice come back against the Raiders. All right, I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Raiders more still.
Could you imagine in his first game back, Patrick Mahomes takes out his other knee?
Don't even joke about that shit. Actually, joke about that shit because Chargers fan Grant coming in here. That is, oh my God, that'd be the funniest shit of all time. Or Travis Kelce takes him out if Taylor Swift's like, Rashee Rice is so good. And then Travis Kelce just demolishes him over the middle.
Takes him out in the tackle.
It's reckoning. It is reckoning week, though. I'm not sure who those corners in Vegas are. Well, they're going to be playing in Kansas City. But oh boy, Everett. I think Rashee Rice walks into that offense with 17 targets next week. No hyperbole. I literally think
very likely
17 targets.
They said they're going to give him high volume. So
offense.
Let's look at some of these games that we disagreed on, though. First of all, Bucks and Lions. I think this is arguably the most interesting game of the week, just because of injuries and all that kind of situation going on. Plus, the Lions offensive coordinator and just Dan Campbell have said that they want to go to a more 50-50 split between Gibbs and David Montgomery, which as a Gibbs dynasty owner, I do not like to hear that.
Well, it's good and bad. Jahmyr Gibbs just bought himself another year and a half in the NFL.
Probably. But as a general, but Baker Mayfield's playing an MVP level, and we talk about MVP candidates, and it's really they are the reason their team's winning. And if you want an MVP like moment, game, whatever for
Baker's
the resume,
had like 6 this year.
I know, but I'm saying if you want to have an MVP game,
sure,
right, for the resume, this is the game to do it. Where you have Cade Otton is your only starting receiving option that is currently playing.
Tez Johnson, and I am already forgetting the third receiver's name. I believe his first name's Cameron something.
I believe so.
I don't know the last name. Help me out here.
Cameron Johnson.
Okay, Cameron Johnson. So it is Cam, Tez, Cade, and Bake against the world.
And Rashad White. Bucky's still out.
Yeah,
Mike
Buck's
Evans
out.
Might come back. Mike Evans might come back, but we don't know.
I think Tez is a solid little player, and he can. I think it's not crazy. I think Tez could put up 8 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. I don't think that like Baker's playing so well right now that might just be the floor for the top.
And the Lions
receiver on the team
are very much depleted.
And
they're very
Stephen
hurt.
Che got Branch suspended for the game, who Jordy Nelson just did the hearing for. He will be suspended this week. Shout out Stephen Che. He got Brian Branch suspended for this game. He did. Look it up. I just think the Lions right now they've started clicking, and that offense is just hum hum.
No,
And
it's very. Hey, don't get me wrong. Their offense that is an elite offense. But as far as like teams go, they got cooked by the Chiefs last week.
oh
Cooked
yeah,
by the Chiefs last week, and that was really since the Packers. And we talked about it last week. Since the Packers, that was really their most exposure to a quote unquote quality team. Even though Lamar was
Chiefs are
playing when
quality. Chiefs are quality.
but obviously, Lamar was playing when they played the Ravens. But even then,
Yeah,
like the Ravens are so bad this year, and their defense is the unction right now. Like that shouldn't really be a surprising win. You would expect them to win
AFC
that
North
game.
unction has just changed teams. Still
Yeah,
still same division, new
yeah,
team.
new team. But like my thing is, if you're not beating the Packers and you're not beating the Chiefs, Grant, like the Lions might be on fraud watch.
I
So
just think Bucks have been playing great. It's looking very good. I wouldn't necessarily say Lions are on fraud watch because they lost those are two really good teams.
I am saying that if they lose this game collectively, they'll still end up with a high amount of wins. But if they're losing games to teams that are playoff teams, we have
Oh
to
yeah, yeah,
draw
no,
into
yeah, yeah.
question if it's front. They're winning versus bad teams and losing versus good ones. It doesn't matter how many games you win on your record, what your win loss is. If you can't beat good teams, then you're not a good team. And that's kind of
100%.
my thing when the debate talking about whether or not the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. So but
I
I
think
think that
they're
that's
in that
that's definitely
contention.
interesting.
There's no clear cut best team in the NFL
Honestly,
right
like
now.
this game really might be for that kind of bragging right though. Like this would be two of those teams.
Best team in the NFC. Oh yeah, actually that really could be
Well,
one
for
to
the
see
NFC
going
for
on.
sure, but even just the NFL in general, like these are two teams that both have, are both on that ballot for the best team in the NFL
Real quick, we
currently.
could do that. Super Bowl contenders. I would say these are the Super Bowl contenders that I could see them winning the Super Bowl today. No questions asked.
Winning the Super Bowl.
Winning the Super
Okay.
Bowl. No follow up
Okay.
questions asked from me right now. The first team that I could see doing it, and I wouldn't really bat an eye, it's still the Chiefs. Like it wouldn't shock me if they won it all.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles, I wouldn't put them in there
I'm
anymore.
not. I'm not.
Lions, I'd have in there. Rams, I would firmly have in there. If the Rams win the Super Bowl this year, zero shock out of me. I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, sounds about right. But I think it might just be that. Lions,
I would
Rams,
put the Bucks in that
Chiefs.
conversation. The Bucks are there. The Bucks are there right now. If the Bucks win the Super Bowl this
I
year,
would
I would not bat
be
an eye.
I would be a little okay.
I
Wow.
don't think so. The Bucks,
I
the Bucks are playing without being at full strength. If you put the Bucks out there with Bucky Irving, with Mike Evans, with Emeka Ibuka, with Chris Godwin, with Jalen McMillan, like I have
I'm going to go
no
on record and
hesitation.
say there will never be a football game in the history of Earth played where all five of those guys suit up together. That will literally never happen in the history of Earth. One of them will be hurt forever. Just going to
Probably,
call my shot now on that one.
probably, but if they are full strength, because I think that that's really the way you got to look at it when you're thinking Super Bowl contenders. You're not thinking directly what is currently the team, because
Sure.
if you're doing that, Rasheed Rice wouldn't be a part of the Chiefs. So if you think of that way, I don't think there's a doubt in my mind that the Bucks are in that conversation.
I'd still just kind of be shocked for them to like get through the NFC playoffs. I'd be a little shocked.
I mean, they've made it deep every year that they've been there. Like they have the mentality to do that. If you really want to talk about being shocked for a team being there, I would say the Lions getting through the playoffs would be pretty shocking to be in the Super Bowl. They haven't won a single playoff. I'm pretty
Oh
sure
yeah, fair.
they've just lost their opening playoff games the last 2 years.
Yeah,
So
I just need to see a little more. I need to see a little bit more out of the Bucks for me to say they're soupy favorite up there right now, past contender, like winner favorite. I still need to see a little bit more for me to feel that way. But I think if anything, the larger debate this year, although there's a lot of injuries, this is just going to be one of the most exciting college football seasons that we've seen in a while. Just because college football NFL season because there's
No, it's
not a
the most.
clear cut team
No,
anymore. Like
it's the most
the Chiefs
tightly
aren't like 8-0. It's like
yeah. No,
oh shit.
it's very tight.
We've seen some
Um,
teams that we thought were going to be contenders underperforming. Chiefs, Eagles, Packers, like so. Texans,
Grant,
like
Carson Wentz is expected to start this week for the Minnesota Vikings, per reports.
that.
There
That
you have
sounds
it.
right. That
There
sounds
you
right.
have it.
You should be.
News breaking while we're recording the podcast.
Should be though.
But Grant, last thing I just kind of want to talk about in the NFL, just an interesting thing for the Titans head coach search, and it's the I don't know if it's I don't know if you've seen the meme where it's the guy who plays Punisher, like Jason Bertham or whatever, and it's just no.
I
Um,
probably do know it's not. I'll be honest. An
but
image didn't pop in my head right there when you said that.
but
But yeah,
it's like him at the dining table, and it's like it's just him just yelling no over and over and over, or it's the office clippers just oh God, please no. Grant, Ian Rappaport reports that the Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy and Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith are among the top names to watch for the Titans head coaching position. Did we not learn? Have we not learned a single thing about either of those two guys as head coaches? There's a reason they're coordinators and not still head coaches. I would be so unbelievably upset for Titans fans if they fired Mike Vrabel, hired Brian Callahan, fired Brian Callahan, and then hired one of those two dudes. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
no, just to like they had Mike Vrabel. It's like
What
one
are
of the
we
best
doing?
coaches you could possibly ask for in the NFL.
What are we doing? And it's the same thing. Their GMs. I don't know if you saw this, but their GMs. I think they fired
Well, that's
Mike
how it all
Vrabel.
started. Trading
But
AJ Brown. That's how it all began.
they fired Mike Vrabel, then hired whoever the last coach was, fired that GM. They then fired the other head coach, and it's just been like every other year they fire the GM or the head coach. Like
Yeah,
it's just been the way that it's gone.
yeah,
So
and then whoever's there shorter, they could be like, "Well, I don't have my guy in yet." Then they
no,
go
literally
hire their
time,
guy, and
every
then
time
sucks, and
it's
then they get fired.
It's the new GM. The GM fires the old GM's head coach. The new head coach comes in. The next year, that GM
The owner
gets fired.
supports the head coach, not the GM fires the GM. Now
Yep.
the head
And
coach
then they're
goes
like-
and finds his new GM. Then they're like, "Let's keep this GM. You actually suck though, so you're out, head coach."
No,
And
literally,
the cycle
that's how
just
it works.
continues.
And
Yeah,
this is why we hire them at the same time. Usually GM, then hiring head coach after that. But
GM should be first.
GM should be
should
first.
be first.
They should be first. And that's how you get a good dynamic. But okay, Grant, let's wrap up here with the MLB. This is more of like I guess embrace debate. I don't know how much you want to talk about the actual playoffs right now, but I do think a large thing that I've seen come up on Twitter lately, just because of the Dodgers and
Oh yeah,
just
Just
for
making rounds.
general sense is, hey, if the Dodgers, win the World Series this year, it's going to really push a lockout next year. And
2 years from now, 27.
sorry, 2027, yeah. And I just don't think that like the general sense of it is a lockout for cap, like to create a cap or to have more even teams. And you and I talk about this quite a lot, but it is not the fault of the Dodgers that other owners in the MLB don't want to pay their players, more money, or every team can defer. Every player can opt to defer. Like every team has the ability, to do what the Dodgers are doing. They just choose
Bobby
not to.
Vanilla Day came first, guys.
Yeah. And I mean,
the
look,
Mets are. So you're telling me the Mets were the first? Interesting.
but also, like, Grant, here's the thing. Like, so the last CBA was negotiated in 2022. Under that CBA, each MLB team pools 48% of their local revenues, with the total amount split equally upon all 30 teams. So every team gets the same amount of revenue, which is about 90 million per team. And like that's specifically to allow small market
TV
teams
money.
I think, yeah, just general TV revenue and just total revenue, it's about 90 mil. But like the point of that is specifically to have small markets, be equal to LA Dodgers or the New York Yankees or anything like that. But the argument, like, if you really want to have equality, then make the owners that can't afford that much, make them pay more. Make them have a floor, have a cap floor, because that way at least every team has to pay a certain amount of money instead of being the Oakland A's and
And that could
squandering their
also
talent.
help govern new ownership groups in the future, where if you want to become an owner of an MLB team, you're doing it to try to win. You're not becoming an owner to like get money out of it. Like if you want to be an owner of an MLB team, do it to try to win. And
Yeah,
that might be able to govern itself slightly.
I
With a
mean,
floor.
it just really shouldn't be like everybody's complaining, about, and it's just also like, oh well, I saw a Brewers fan I think today was tweeting like, the talent gap is crazy. Like, the Milwaukee Brewers are a homegrown team. The Dodgers went and paid all their players. Okay, well let's start with this one. I don't remember Christian Yelich coming up from the Brewers, AAA affiliate. Do you remember that one? Because I'm pretty sure he played for the Marlins before he played for the Brewers.
But
so
no. He won like 6 MVPs in Milwaukee when he got called up. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Homegrown.
So it's just
Wilson Contreras developed in that system. They definitely didn't trade for him from the Atlanta Braves or anything. No. They didn't do that.
No, like
not
it's just
them, dude. The scrappy brew crew? No, not them.
no way. Like also like literally 48 hours ago, a lot of Brewers fans were like talking about the regular season and how like they own the Dodgers in the regular season. And it's like, okay, well, like it's just a different time. Like I don't really know what you're now going to play the victim card. Like there's still a whole rest of the series left. Like we don't know how it's going to go either way.
Baseball is also just the most random sport. Like if there was a sport where I'd feel the least safe about a 2-0 lead, it's baseball.
No, yeah, 100%. And I think that has to be the evaluation here when you're actually looking at it. And like also the bigger thing is like from a player side, we talked about this earlier. If you make a cap, that's going to mean that your players get paid less, and the players aren't going to want to do that.
Well, that's like the biggest thing that people are kind of like glossing over. It's like the Mets just now everyone's like, sure, he's getting paid $500 million. The highest paid athlete in the history of Earth is Juan Soto on the Mets.
Yeah. Like it's also like not a super big stretch between how much teams like are really paying. Like right now, just payroll, Grant, total payroll, right? Dodgers are 240 million. Mets are 228 million. Then you have the Braves. Like to get to 190, like below 200 million, like you have to go to the Padres at 4.
And that like, that's difference not a huge in 12 million is like, well, that's 9 million less than Michael Conforto because he's 21 million. So
like in actuality, like that difference, even down to like, let's say 6 or 7, one, like the Red Sox,
quite literally the worst baseball player I've ever watched in my life. Like
the Red Sox are at 166 mil, like 7, right? So like it's to go from there to 240 mil, like that's probably 2 players. But if you're going even to 190, and
Boston's
like
would have been higher if they kept Devers.
Yeah, so like it's really a difference of 1 to 2 players. Like that is not like crazy. So
also like, but also it's just like baseball as a sport. Like, I honestly don't even know. Well, the NBA, you could free agent buy a team. You could.
No, you can.
MLB, it's not. You have a 26-man roster. I don't think it's possible to have 26 guys on the major league team on second contract. Like it's just not possible to do. Like, and like also just the Michael Confortos of the world. He just got 21 mil. Also, 2 years ago, what is his face? James Paxton got 9 million from but also like those guys are never approving a salary cap. Hell no, because now they don't get their 1 year $20 million deals.
But like Grant, like
which is life changing.
Just as a general thing too with the Dodgers, right? Like The highest paid individual being Shohei Ohtani, technically not like, I mean, currently it's Glasnow if you just look at the actual salary just right now. Base salary is 70 million Shohei. So Shohei Ohtani being the highest paid person. Um,
And it's
he's
like
not
Glasnow
batting.
misses
Yeah.
80% of the
But
season.
Glasnow misses a lot of the time. Shohei isn't playing very well in the
Dude,
playoffs right
Shohei's
now.
awful in the playoffs. Like I'm
Blake Snell missed basically the entire season. And
pretty,
then you have other
if you wanted to bitch, you point at Blake Snell. I see them bitching about like, dude, Kike Hernandez, Max Muncy getting hit. Those aren't the guys. If you want to bitch, you bitch at Blake Snell just throwing a 8 inning 1 hit, no run performance. That was the direct result of money. Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez, Andy Pages at the bottom of the lineup finally getting a hit. Like, that's not money.
No, but like the greater point too is
it's also
like
if we go get guys, we trade
have
for them and give up like six
but
killers.
You have people complaining about the payroll and how you're getting, it's OP, whatever. Grant, like the best batter arguably on the Dodgers right now is Kike Hernandez.
Yeah.
Like he's
and
getting
Teo,
paid
and Teo
nothing.
Was the worst player the entire year.
But
he's still jogging shit out right now. Teo,
the greater point is that like one of the biggest contributors for the Dodgers right now in the playoffs is a guy who's getting paid less than a majority of the league.
Yeah, and our closer Roki, what did we buy him?
No, like it's just there's a big difference. Like just because you're giving players big contracts doesn't mean they show up. And a lot of the time, this playoff specifically, like obviously Snell has shown up, Yamamoto has shown up, but like Shohei Ohtani really hasn't batted that well.
He's been atrocious, and he's been the worst starter so far for us.
Yeah, so it's just like you have people contributing to success that are just that any team could have afforded to pay them, and they didn't. And that's just kind of the way that it is. And I think that that's really the basis of everything. If you can have that, there really shouldn't be complaints. But
I think a lot of people are just mad because it's upsetting that the Dodgers have actually built a juggernaut fairly. We didn't steal signs like the trash throws to do this. No. Like we played by the rules, abided by the MLB's rules, and this is the result. We had a decade straight of everyone saying Dodger chokers, losers. This is you.
Even last
if
year,
you want to know how this monster was created, you created the monster. You did. But clowning the Dodgers for all those years, you're the reason why this exists.
And you know what's super cool, Grant? The Brewers, if they wanted to, they could go in this offseason. They could go and sign every player that they want to.
They could have tried to keep Corbin Burns, but they didn't. That was their decision.
I don't,
they could have kept him.
Every team has the ability to do this. So and if you really want to have more equality across the league, that means the teams that are the worst, we're talking the Twins, not the Oakland, but the A's, like those quality teams.
Angels.
The Orioles, the Angels, right? Like you
Marlins.
need to have those
let's
owners.
Stop shitting on the bad teams. We know they suck. All right, yeah.
You need to have those owners actually pay more to create a roster because they're never going to do that anyways, and you're never going to have parity unless you do that.
Well, yeah, that's like.
And if you create a cap, then they're still not going to do anything.
Let's end off
still
with
not going to be parity.
I asked to the audience, and you know the answer to it. Will the Pittsburgh Pirates even entertain the thought of extending Paul Skeens? You know the answer to it. We know it. That's your answer right there. They would never, ever even forward they don't even need to sign it yet. They would never even let Paul Skeens see a proposed contract.
They actually personally are going to give Paul Skeens the Dodgers/Yankees contract as his parting. But they're just like, hey, Paul, come to the office. We have a contract for you, and it's just going to be one of their contracts.
When Paul Skeens leaves, the Pirates are going to bitch to Trader, turned his back on it. They're going to do that. Oh, get ready. Oh, it's coming. And Paul's like, you guys offered me a binder, and some textbooks. The Dodgers just offered me $1 billion.
Yeah, you actually don't need to pay for your own meals at the Dodgers, unlike the
No,
unlike the
yeah, yeah.
Pirates.
Power Crunch bars free, provided for free. Uh, Water we might still be charging you 50 cents on that. We're still in a bit of a drought here. But
yeah, no, definitely not in plastic. You will have to pay if it's in plastic. That's for sure. That's for sure.
And we also
compostable everything.
We also only sell that pH alkaline water, so it's actually 75 cents, not 50.
Oh, forgot the little upcharge for that.
For
but
your 9.5 pH water.
Great for your body. Great to heal. With that though, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can follow me on Twitter at Everstakes and at WaterboyGrant. We post episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms, so make sure you subscribe, turn notifications so miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on TikTok and Instagram as well, so make sure to check us out there so you don't miss anything else. With that, we'll see you guys next week with a special treat on Thursday. So with that, thank you guys so much. See you next episode. Waterboys out.